Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today will be the first day of painting the Inner Circle Task Force. I'm going to try some oil washing today, see how that goes. Should be a good time. A little intimidated. I've only ever done it once before, so who knows how this is going to pan out. But should be a good time. And if any of you guys have ever done oil washes and stuff in the past, I welcome any sort of criticism as we go. But I got my odorless mineral spirits, and I got my oil paint, and I'm going to give it a shot. That does not look appetizing. See how that goes to start with. It's Tuesday. Hopefully you guys had a great day today. Just trying to mix this up. Get it to break down a little bit. Not be all chunky. Might need a little more of the spirits. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah, I do. Like I said, winging it, y'all. Only done this once before. So this could go incredibly well, or it could be really bad. No real globs anymore, but it's still really, really thick. Definitely need more mineral spirits. And basically what I'm doing is I'm using my experience with normal washes, and I'm trying to shoot for that kind of consistency. This almost kind of has like a streaking grime consistency. Big thing with like oil washes and that kind of stuff, you can't just use regular water to clean up. So if you're gonna try to do it, you gotta make sure you have the mineral spirits to clean up with. Might be getting close. I don't know, we'll see. But hopefully you guys have had a great day. Hope you guys are hanging out and chilling. You know, as always, I hope you guys are working on something and not just hanging out and watching. Yeah, I just realized that this cord is kind of in the way. Let's see if I can't get that out of the way for y'all. feel like it's a little too brown. Kind of tempted to throw some black in there, but it's always scary when you start mixing stuff because you never really know how it's going to pan out. I'm going to do a little more mineral spirits because it's not really running quite as much as I would like. And see, if I was like better at this, I'd have a bottle and I'd put it all in there and I'd like shake it up and have it consistent for future projects and everything too. But I am not that guy. That looks tempting. All right. So a smart person, again, would have a singular test model. They would be working on that. And then if it worked out, that's what they would do for the rest of the stuff. I, again, am not that person, and I'm going to slobber this all over all my models and hope for the best. Sounds about right. Ooh, boy. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. I don't know if you guys can tell by the way I'm holding my breath, but this is kind of nerve-wracking. But it's looking all right. New things often are a little scary. But, I'm a firm believer that on the other side of scary has the potential for awesome. Does that make sense? Like, it's okay to be afraid, but fear of the unknown has stopped more success stories than actually trying. So, than actual failure. Can I use that as a palette? Trying to get it deep in that hood right now. Like I said, I've only ever done an oil wash successfully once before, but I don't want to jinx it. Right now, I would say this is feeling pretty good. Well, dang. guess it doesn't have to be too clean, because I'm going to go back with the mineral spirits and clean it up some. But, that feels pretty good. I'm looking at the camera, and the camera makes it look a lot oranger than it is in reality. I'm guessing that's like a white balance thing. But it's definitely like an ochreish brown. Alright, that's got to be worth a like, right? Just going to town on it. Did the front of the shield? I did not do the front of the shield. Probably should do that. Let me see if I can get this like really up there. Not too shabby. Like, this is the scary part, you know, and cleaning up after it all dries, theoretically, is the good, exciting part. Now, one of the cool things I keep kind of thinking in my head is with the way that oil paint works and is, you know, cleaned up and stuff like that, there's really no risk of ruining the model, because theoretically you just get some mineral spirits and just wipe it all off. So that's kind of another thought in the back of the head as I'm doing this. I don't really know if I need to wash the weapons per se. And like, maybe I should be doing this like after all my base coats and stuff as like a filter. But you know, honestly, I don't really know. Kind of thinking about how I would normally go about painting the model. But yeah, so I hope you guys are having a good time. Hope you had a good Tuesday. Week keeps on moving through. Trying to get this work done on this box. Trying to keep up with my promise to myself. New year, new army kind of deal. Working towards those goals, you know. But right now, you're just coming in. This is an oil wash that I made up. Some mineral spirits and some tube oil paints. By no means I'm an expert. But, you know, I did watch a YouTube video once. Let's see. There we go. It's times like this when I'm reminded of all those videos. Can I paint an entire army in 24 hours? Yeah, I don't think so. Do not believe that that is a possibility. So for anybody wondering, this is how I kind of go about my priming and my washing. I always do it on this kind of handle here. When it's time to actually like paint and get into all the little nooks and crannies, I'll put them on a different paint handle. But I find this just works pretty well for washing and whatnot. One of the benefits is, since I'm constantly moving it around, the wash tends to not have the option or time to pool in weird places. And if it does, since I'm holding all of them, I have my eyes, you know, more or less on them all as I go. So if there is an issue with pooling, I can tend to catch it this way. Or, you know, if I see a spot I missed, which happens, I can address it right then and there. Gonna be honest, that wash did not go quite as far as I was anticipating. Like that was a full spot on my palette. And I'm just about out of it already. I'm definitely gonna have to make more before I do the other 5. See, like that, I noticed I didn't get that handle with a hand. If I'd have just sat him aside and kept going, I more than likely would have missed that. I think they're looking pretty good. Again, the camera is making it seem like they're very like yellow, but to my eye, it's not. It's like an ochre brown. But yeah, again, hope you guys had a great day. Hopefully right now you guys are working on some stuff too. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as I do my work. It's always nice to do this stuff with a buddy. I think I'm going to have just barely enough in that little pot to do 5 of them. Maybe not even. Get some out of there. Sorry if I get out of frame every now and then. It's kind of a lot to juggle as far as like attention goes. If anybody is wondering, yes, this is a mermaid unicorn paintbrush that I am using. If you weren't worrying about that, I'm sorry I brought that to your attention. It's basically just a cheap synthetic brush I got lying around. All right, one more check across the board. Don't spot behind the shield there. And underneath those little hip things, getting the very tippy top of those tabards. See, a normal wash would pretty much be dry by now. All right, I'm gonna let them sit and hang out for a little bit. Try to get the brush just a little. Not to let that stuff sit there too long. All right, guess I need to make up some more for the next 5. I think this time I'll start with a little more mineral spirits than last time. Playing the mixing game. Still definitely got a lot of chunks in there. Get a little more mineral spirits in there. Looks like the majority of my lumps and bumps are gone. Still got some stuck to the brush. Clean this off over here, my napkin. My cleaner water there, or mineral spirits. See what it looks like. Probably a little more thinner. Hey, what's going on, man? That looks interesting. What are you doing? So right now, what I'm doing is I'm mixing up an oil wash with some mineral spirits and some raw sienna oil paint. The second time I've ever done it. First time was a kind of success with black, but I think black is a little more forgiving. But kind of experimenting and trying to figure it out. Kind of looks like a mess, doesn't it? like I said earlier, it's kind of scary, but on the other side of scary is potentially awesome. So, giving it a shot. It's definitely messier though. But man, how was your day? How'd you do today? All right. Take two. Let's see how the next batch like it. Move these guys off to the side. Is that what you're using to base coat, like a contrast paint, or are you using like a wash? So I base coated with a primer, and I'm using this kind of like an all-over wash. I've seen people use oil washes like the final step, and they clean it, and they kind of like filters all their stuff together. That might be the best way to do it. I don't know. I by no means am an expert at the whole oil washing thing. This, like I said, this is my second go at it. But my thought is I can use it to establish like my shadows, and then I can kind of like base coat and do all the stuff like the normal way. Oh, I got some Dican working for the city harassing me about firewood stacked up in my yard. DEI Karen. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. How dare you have firewood in your own property? I don't know what to tell you about that, man. I mean, in the winter even. I mean, are you like stockpiling a excess of firewood? Are you not allowed to do that? That's what I'm saying. Basic human right. Yeah, I mean, heck, I don't know. It depends on where you live. Like some places they can't even keep rainwater. I know some friends of mine tried doing like gardening and whatnot, and somebody reported that they had some rain barrels, and apparently you're not allowed to capture rainwater in certain parts. Yeah, that is insane. But I don't know if you were here or not. Last night, I finished building the lion and ended up magnetizing two of the head options. It was a good time. It's half a tree that blew down last spring. I chopped up and stacked in the far corner of my yard using a fire pit. You know, pursuit of happiness. Yeah, sitting by a fire, enjoying the crackle and the smell. I mean, did somebody like report that you had fire? Well, I don't understand anything about what you're trying to tell me, man. That just sounds silly. Like, I got firewood. So it's not pretty like a stacked core. Oh, it's not pretty. Is that important for when you stack wood? Are they claiming it's like an eyesore? No, there's no HOA, but the city has their own version of it. Oh, the city has their like a citywide HOA. Hmm, that is intriguing. I know anytime I've gone to like buy a home, I'm probably painting off screen a little bit here. Oh, good. I always look, is there an HOA? And if there is, I don't buy there. Notice a claim is if government agents want to enter your property, it has to be free of debris. Um, why would a government agency want to enter your property? I wonder. Mm-mm-mm. Jeez. Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with that, man. Hopefully, it's not that difficult to deal with, or they lay off you, or whatever needs to happen happens. But you working on anything tonight? Both laughable and frustrating because it is a problem I have to deal with the city over. Oh, yeah. It's just another thing that you got to deal with in life now that even, really shouldn't be a thing. Yep, Eldar all over the desk. Make it happen, man. You're not still painting like spirit stones, are you? Oh, no, you are. Like, I know all the orders went live, but I don't think you guys are going to get that until, what, next weekend typically? So theoretically, you're going to have all your backlog done before the new stuff shows up. Taking a break from Spirit Stones. I got 5 Armorcast Wave Serpents in the mail yesterday. Whoo! That sounds cool. Also sounds like a good bit of work, too. So you building and assembling tonight? I assume tonight. I'm not sure where you're at in the world. All my backlog, I have 15K new inbox Eldar that's been waiting for this release. There you go. So part of your backlog? Now I kind of joke because we had some really bad snow come through, and I was stuck in the house, so I started going through my pile of shame, and I was reorganizing it, moving it from basically one shelf to another shelf, and putting it all kind of in order. In the Bible Belt, okay, that's good. A little south of that, um, and so anyway, I was looking at all my stuff. I'm like, man, this stuff in here like forever old. that I should probably really do. I mean, some of it's probably a collector's item at this point now, so I might not ever touch. But I might start a thing instead of just like shopping in a store. I'm gonna shop in my pile of gray. Maybe try to chip away at it a little bit. Yeah, I got all the Banshee stuff done except the Banshee Wraith Knight. Started the Dire Avenger stuff. You sound like you're getting some work done. Like, you guys have pretty much been with me every step of the way for this army. And it may feel to you guys that I'm moving pretty slow. But for me, I feel like I'm moving at like light speed. Got the whole box built, whole box primed, starting to paint it already. Feeling good about it. It's more than it sounds. Each aspect, shrine is aspect warriors, wraith guard, blade guard, yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things too with all those is they all require a different type of paint, a type of color, layout, all that kind of stuff. So it's not like most Marine armies, one color and a few little points of color. Eldar can be a challenge to paint. And that's kind of what I noticed when I was priming these guys. The Terminators were beige and bone. The other guys, the Inner Circle Companions, that did green. Did some Hellblasters that were green. The Watchers and whatnot were black. The Chaplain was black. It's like, you usually just spray them blue and move on. And of course, Phoenix Lords plus transports. Oh, yeah. The new Phoenix Lords look really cool, by the way. Like, they did a good job sculpting those. I mean, they worked on them for like 30 years. So I was hoping they did a good job with them. See, I gotta get all these jokes out of the way because after this next weekend, I'm not gonna be able to make all the old model jokes. Well, the tough part, in my opinion, is the lore. It's very sparse and it's hard to pick color schemes as a result. Yeah, there's only a few like craft worlds that get a whole lot of attention. Yeah, that's the same way with Marines. There's so little information out there. You got to leave it all to your own imagination. Yeah, I'm kidding. Depending on like your circle of people, like there's some people that are like lore, like I mean, just use the phrase lore Karens. Like that shoulder pad isn't painted properly. Like, well, it made me happy when I painted it. So at least with Eldar, you get a little bit more freedom. Well, if all the craft order have their colors, but the aspect shrines all have their own sub-factions within the shrine. Ooh. See, now you're going into like the deep lore. So if you wanted to do, I don't know, like Urane's group, but a subgroup of that subgroup is kind of sparse. I guess where you're getting at. Hey, thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. If you're just joining me, I'm doing an oil wash on my Deathwing Knights. They're all named, but of like the 40 names, 3 to 4 have color schemes known. Oh no. Yeah, but I mean, again, though, it's hard to be lore accurate when there's no lore, but it's also hard to be lore inaccurate when there's no lore. Does that make sense? But it would be nice to have like a reference of what to do. I used to look into like Instagram and that kind of stuff. But what people were doing on there, like some people's work, it's so good. It's like disheartening. And it's like, I will never be like the masters. And you know, you kind of get that fear to start kind of mentality again. So I've kind of stopped looking at that. I'll look at like box art. I'll look at maybe a YouTube tutorial on how to do something. But other than that, I just kind of wing it. Just try to be happy with my own hobby. But yeah, again, I appreciate the likes, y'all. It means a whole lot to me. Us small YouTubers, you know, that one like is awesome. It makes us feel good, but it also helps the YouTube gods say, huh, he did something cool. Maybe we'll show somebody else. Right, you just get to make it up. But if you want to say your stuff is X and someone with totally different stuff says that's what they have too, it becomes a weird competitive thingy where the community votes. Oh no. Like who did this super specific niche thing best? Yeah, that can put some strain on it. And I know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know, our gaming group got pretty big there for a bit. And at the time, I was like the Ultramarine guy. And, you know, every group has a guy who is the whatever guy. Just how to think how ideas, yeah. And there was another guy that came in, and he had Ultramarines. And it was whatever, it was cool. But I did find myself, when I was like just getting into the hobby, thinking, I'm the Ultramarine guy around here. So there was always kind of like a who was the better Ultramarine player kind of vibe going on. But, you know, kind of immature. But I totally did it. But I guess now I'm known as the guy who has way too many armies and models that haven't been put together yet. Which I don't know if that's a title I'm proud of. But honestly, it kind of became that way because, like I said, we had a pretty big group. And a bunch of people started like quitting out and whatever. And a couple of them, I bought their armies, and I said, look, I'll buy it and I'll store it for you, for however much money it was. And if you ever want them back, you just give me that money back, and I'll give you your stuff back. Because I didn't want to be like completely out of the hobby if they ever wanted to come back. So are you going to use the reduction method with Q-tips or just dry brush over this? I'm going to use the reduction method. I'm going to use some makeup sponges and that kind of stuff to clean it up. Probably not the best way. Like I said, I think I've seen people, what they'll normally do is they'll paint the whole model minus washes, and then they'll do a whole model wash with the oil wash, and it kind of blends it all together because it's under the same tone filter, and then they'll do the reductive method that way. But like I said, I'm experimenting, I'm playing. I by no means am an oil washing expert. And it's just the thought I got rolling around in my brain bucket. But yeah, so I would pick up their armies, and I'd store them for them, and I'd pretty much leave like a note card in there that said this was Jim Bob's army. I paid $200 for it, and basically became a storage center for them. A couple of guys wanted to come back in, and I gave them back their stuff. They gave me back the money, no big deal. But some they just like, nope, they're gone, and they're mine now. Because that's going to stay wet for up to 3 days. Yes and no. If there's a lot of thinner in it, it tends to dry quicker. If I clean it up and it gets down to like just the shadowy parts, I can clean that up and then put it off to the side under a heater, and it'll catch up. But pretty much today is going to be a wash day and not a whole lot else. Theoretically, I can get to the cleaning up stage on the stream, but we'll see. Again, all theoretical. Like the black oil wash I did on some armigers, honestly, that dried about like 2 hours. But yeah, no, there's a lot of fear and unknown with what I'm doing, but kind of just running ahead and seeing what happens. Yeah, once again, appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out, leaving likes. Really awesome. I appreciate that a lot. Again, if you're just hopping in, this is my attempt at oil washing some Deathwing Knights, and I'm hoping it doesn't go horribly. I said when I first hopped on, like, if I was smart, I would have just done a singular test model, but I am not that guy. Just kind of diving in with it. All right, let's run around, make sure I got all the nooks and crannies. But yeah, no, I'm hoping it works out. So, yeah. Woo! Alright, second squad oil washed up. So, like I said, it looks a little yellow on the camera. Let me see if I can turn down some of these lights. And maybe that'll kind of change how it looks for you guys. But it's definitely like a light brown kind of vibe. I don't know if that really helped at all or not. But yeah, first oil wash done on them. You know what I probably should do? This guy. Got the lieutenant. This is the Blade Guard lieutenant. Go ahead and give him the same kind of treatment. I know it's going to sound silly. I've noticed it before, but it always makes me kind of laugh. On the back side of his shield, he's got his house key on there. He's kind of chilling. Brother, did you lock the front door? But yeah, if you guys are just hopping in, oil wash on my Dark Angels from the Inner Circle Task Force box. Kind of a big experiment for me, honestly. Hopefully you guys had a great day. You achieved something pretty cool. Hopefully you're working on stuff with me. If you're liking yourself out here, go ahead and leave that like. As always, that YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe, yada yada. Get the back side of the sword. I think I got it all there. All right. That's all my bone armor, guys. Done with that part. Get the mineral spirits out. The Banshees I've been working on are also a bone color, but I did an all-over sepia wash with a more targeted shadow of Agrex. Yeah, that's a smarter and kind of better way to do it, I think. I've done that kind of stuff in the past, too. This is just kind of more of an experiment and exciting. Because normally what I'll do is I'll do like a base color prime, do an all-over wash, and then I'll do like a dry brush to highlight back up, and then I'll pick up my details and whatnot. But this is kind of like everybody's talking about it, everyone's trying to do oil washes. I've seen some really cool stuff, and I was like, well, if I can learn how to do it too, maybe I can have another, skill set or tool to work on models later. So it's a dangerous experiment, but it's happening. But yeah, so my normal way, because I kind of hop around projects. This is kind of my Ultramarines right now. Basically, I had the base prime, dry brushed it up to highlights, and then start going in with like details and whatnot. But yeah. All right. So that first squad has been done for maybe 20-30 minutes. Give it a shot and see how it works. But yeah, if you guys are just hanging out with me, I appreciate you guys. Let's see how bad this goes. Well, that's not too terrible. Alright, let's see. Maybe. Got it. I'm going to try that. Well, I've only been playing with enamels for a little while, but I've been doing it mostly with streaking grime, using it more targeted. Yeah, I know streaking grime right now is like the new null oil. Like, people are doing some amazing stuff with streaking grime. I haven't played around with it much, but it is tempting. Like that whole company. Oh, there we go. They've got the streaking grime. They've got dirty down rust effects. They got their moss looks kind of cool too. Ooh, needs more room. Back you guys up. A little less pressure, maybe. I like Q-tips, dip in, clean solvent, dab towel. Yeah, I got some of those on the side. My thought was I could use these big guys for like the bulk removal, and then I can transition to the Q-tips for a more targeted thing after the fact. looks all right, as he says with a squeak to his voice. You just want the Q-tip damp, wet, not soaked with solvent. All right, you know what? I'm going to transition to that right now. I'm going to grab, let me get a clean paper towel real quick. I'm going to clean up one of these. Put this off to the side. Get some clean. Also, I've learned pipettes make up a lot of, like, that's super useful. So I got these guys, they're like little makeup brushes. The reason I got these was I didn't want to take a chance of like the cotton coming off and like make little fuzzies on my model. If I can like rub that and maybe a little less. I might need to even get smaller. This is the smallest I got. Q-tips are cheap, man. Yeah, I know. I picked these up from the dollar store. I think they're like 50 cents for like a pack of them. Not sure if I'm loving it or not. That makes sense. He looks like a yellowish on camera, but he doesn't look bad. Yeah, no, he's not yellow. I don't know if it's because of like the light I got. I think it might be a little overexposed. Let's see. See if that helps at all. Yeah, not really, huh? Yeah. You know, I think I'm gonna go grab some Q-tips like you're saying. I shall return. Un momento. Oh, thanks for the like. Appreciate it. one is a bit more brown. If you could still add washers or do this again, but with a darker brown. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a darker brown. Yeah, it is a light brown, but in person it's not yellow. But I'm like watching it too. It definitely looks yellow on camera. Cool thing is with oil washes, if it's terrible, I can just sit them in some mineral spirits and be done with it and start over. Yeah, the light did help it look more brownish. The effect looks cool though. It won't take much time to dry either. No, I don't think so with these. Like I'm seeing some spots where as I'm cleaning it, like the oil's like ripping, which typically only happens if it's already got like a dry film. But yeah, the Q-tip's good. Sure, I don't get any fuzzies. Sorry, I might be off camera there a little bit. All right. Give this a shot again. Big all over. Found pure pack. Yep, gotcha. Hopefully it's not them talking about your wood pile. But for anybody who's just joined us, I'm giving a shot of an oil wash and, kind of experimenting and seeing what happens. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Hopefully you guys are working on something and accomplishing something today too. Everyone's got to find that time to hit the hobby. And hopefully you can hit the hobby with me. We can hang out, chat, keep each other motivated and going. that shield looks really good with it. I'm liking how this is looking. I was a little worried to begin with, but it's coming out all right. I just wish it didn't look so yellow on camera. This might sound silly, but I'm a little surprised by how long the cleanup phase is for this. Like I said, this is kind of like just my second time ever doing it. And the first time I did it with the armigers, so they were kind of big, they went real quick. So like when you watch those videos where it's like, oh yeah, you just wipe and clean, there's definitely a lot more than just wiping clean. Get the Q-tip out. Get a clean one this time. Oh, Sorry, my dog's barking. Cleo! Sorry about that. I feel like the shields really benefited from it. The shoulder pads did too. I haven't even been looking at that part. Probably need to get that. Back to the front of this guy. Get some more mineral spirits in here. Tricky part so far has been making sure not to miss any spots that need a little cleanup. Sorry, y'all. My dog is deciding to let the whole neighborhood know that she exists. Alright, I'm pretty happy with those. Again, that the light really doesn't do them justice. But there you go. First 5 washed up. Get the next 5. Yeah, I feel like too with this is I'm going to constantly look and see places that I need to clean a little more. But I guess that's the benefit of doing these oil washes, is that you get the opportunity to do that. Hey. How's it going?
Good.
That's good. How was class?
Good. Enjoyed it.
That's good.
She didn't do the moves with us. She just told us, so I very much had to concentrate on what she was saying to do.
Oh, she didn't show you guys what to do?
No, I was watching the experienced people next to me.
Oh, no. That's rough. Well, was it fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
That's good. That's all that matters.
Honestly, having to listen to directions that intently makes me forget about everything else. So that's kind of actually nice.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. Do me a favor and tell everybody that these don't look as yellow as they look on the camera. Because they look so yellow.
Oh, that's what it looks on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they don't look that yellow.
Yeah. It's like a light brown wash. But
Is it your lighting?
I think it might be the lighting. It might be like a white balance thing. I don't know. I'm just saying things I've heard camera people say. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let me see. What does it look like of mine?
Huh?
From this angle.
Yeah, that looks more right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me see.
What?
Okay, it looks more like that.
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna work. But that was brilliant.
Oh,
I appreciate
I
it.
didn't have the picture up.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna go check on these shrimps.
All right, yeah, they should be defrosted.
Okay.
Guys, if they're not defrosted, I'm in so much trouble. Just saying. When your fiance goes to the gym, asks you to defrost the shrimp, and you say, I'm going to hop on a live stream instead and paint my plastic figures. I'm sure that's going to go well, right? Anybody out there disagree? But yeah, if you guys are just kind of hanging out with me, what I'm doing right now is cleaning up an oil wash I made for these Deathwing Knights. And it's coming out pretty good. The camera is definitely making them look super yellow. But hopefully later when I get some short videos going for them, you guys will see that they're not mustard yellow. If they were mustard yellow, I would have stopped a long time ago and been like, nope, gotta figure this out. And oil washing is definitely a trust the process kind of thing. Honestly, if you guys are sitting there watching this and you feel like you couldn't do an oil wash, I'm going to tell you, you absolutely can. This is pretty easy. Um, it's just the prep work and stuff. Um, I'm not 100% sold on if this is like a better technique than just a regular wash. But it is fun to do. The initial stress of what if I mess up has kind of left. And it's kind of enjoyable to do the cleanup to see how it's coming. So that's nice. Apparently, we're checking our onions in the kitchen. Are our onions okay? I need to know.
I bought another one and trashed that one.
Okay. It's all about those angles. Hey, welcome back, sir. You missed it. My fiance came in and was giving me a hard time over the shrimp being defrosted. You know, saying when your fiance goes to the gym and asks you to thaw out the shrimp, maybe you should make sure the shrimp is thawed out before live streaming. Yeah, they are looking really good. I appreciate it. They definitely look better than the camera is showing. But I do feel like I could get into a trap of always looking for something to clean with them. Does that make sense? I think it's just like a personal, like I gotta learn, like, okay, this is a good spot to stop. And then actually, stop. But they definitely look yellow on camera. Because the way I had this set up is, I'm thinking, is a fair enough argument? Yeah. So the way I have it set up is I have the camera up here. And then in front of me, I got a TV. And the TV is showing me what you guys see. And that's how I also see chat. So there might be an even bigger delay for me responding to chat than you might expect, because that's why. But she walked in and she's like, "Oh, they're looking good." And then I said, "Yeah, can you tell them that they don't look as yellow in reality as they do on the camera?" She's like, "Yeah." And she tried to take a picture and then show you guys the picture, but it didn't really work out. I'm hoping when I do like a short video or something like that, you guys will be able to actually see what I'm seeing. Get some more mineral spirits in here. Well, if you can always go back after they're dry with more targeted second coat to add more grams of shadow, absolutely. I think what I'm going to do is after this stage, I'm going to start my base coating. and then I might go back in with a more targeted oil wash later. But we'll see. This is becoming just one big old experiment, which I am pretty confident to say is working out all right so far. I think when I made my mix, I could have been lighter with the actual oil paint and heavier on the mineral spirits, and I might not have as much cleanup to do. But what I was doing is I was kind of basing it off of my experience with like a Games Workshop wash. I was trying to get it to that consistency. But after playing with it, I might just need to go heavier on the wash, like the mineral spirits, lighter on the pigment. I've also kind of started using like the Q-tips to kind of, I don't know what the word would be, like re-wash an area. So like I'm using the big guy to get the big stuff off. And I'm coming in with the Q-tip. And then kind of moving the wash around, taking some of it with me. But trying to get like a consistency, or at least a level that I like with it. It's like a little micro decisions. Reads as Deathwing from here. Well, that's good. That makes me feel better. And like, you know, this is all new to me. Deathwing is new to me. Oil washing is new. I really appreciate the advice on the Q-tip. The cotton strings haven't been that big an issue. On the maces, it was harder because those maces have like little studs all over them. And it was kind of like ripping them up a little bit, you know, with those guys. But I appreciate that input. But I definitely think they're gonna dry quick. I've already run into patches where it's like peeling, or maybe not peeling is the right word, but you can tell as I clean it, it's becoming wet again when it was, you know, more solidified. But it's kind of nice if I can just kind of like dab it with a wet one, and then clean it up. It kind of just positions that wash again, which is kind of neat. Sorry if I'm off camera. Yeah, I'm not criticizing your work, just telling you how I roll. No, dude, absolutely, man. And I'm not afraid of criticism at all. Kind of one of the reasons I like to do this is if somebody can tell me something better or give me input, that's, you know, huge, because that's how we get better. You know, like, it's definitely your hobby, right? So if you enjoy it, it doesn't really matter what people think. But if you're trying to like elevate your skills, or, you know, maybe one day get into like a competition kind of mindset, you know, having that input is huge. One of the big things that, like for athletics and whatnot, you know, you have coaches because they have one knowledge, but they also can give you criticisms. And as an athlete, you use those criticisms to get better. You know, if you've never had a coach that was hard on you, you didn't have a good coach, in my opinion. So if you guys are rough on me, that's okay. Like, that is a-okay. Now I'm not saying like send me death threats or anything. That's not cool. But like, especially when you got the amount of experience that you have. You know, I appreciate you sharing it with me too. I'll move this over here. Give myself some more room on this side. But for anybody just kind of hanging out, showing up, cleaning up an oil wash I made with some help from people and tidying up a new skill set, I think. It's not perfect, but it's mine. Might get a little more mineral spirits. Also, I've learned that if you want to do this kind of stuff, pipettes, those are hugely helpful in this. I think I got this from like Walmart or something. Nah, my coach didn't really coach me, and a couple other guys. We took state 9 years in a row, while the casuals on the city league got coached. See, that sucks. Like, I've coached for several years, and you know, some kids are naturals. Some kids have all the potential in the world, and some kids just need a coach to get it out of them. So that makes me a little sad hearing that that's your experience. But I mean, state 9 years in a row is pretty awesome. Can't argue with that. It's just a weird spot to get into. Move right along. I just needed parents who did more to facilitate. Yeah, no, I feel that, man. I grew up pretty poor. Didn't really have a whole lot of opportunity and stuff like that. But my parents worked real hard. They did a lot, and it is what it was. I mean, it was great. And you know, even young, I was fearful to try stuff too. But now that I got kiddos of my own, I work real hard to try to give them those opportunities. You know, if they show interest in something, I try to do my best to let them try to tackle it. To them, it was supposed to be something to keep me busy, but it turned out to be better than that. Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. I'll probably come back when I'm doing my base coats to clean up some of this a little more. But I'm pretty satisfied with the way how that came out. Let's take a look at this first batch real quick. Got one getting there a little more. Try to clean them up a little more. Definitely the tops of the shields. Yeah, it was cool. I am grateful I got to participate for as long as I did. Heck yeah. I mean, they may not look it on that camera, but I'm pretty satisfied with how these are looking right now. They look pretty tight. I definitely feel like I could use a little more cleanup in a few spots. But that might just be like perfectionism getting in the way of completion. Oop, yeah, left some fur behind that one. All right, one last guy to clean up. Let's see how we refresh the mineral spirits. No, they look pretty good for a start. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. I just feel bad, like people keep popping in and out, and I'm pretty sure they're like, huh, this guy's doing yellow models for definitely. That guy's an idiot. But, you know, hey, it happens. That skull looks good. Honestly, this guy looks like, once I get him cleaned up well, he's gonna look like $1 million with this. Definitely got more spiky bits to try to clean around. Some weird shapes. All right, Operation Q-tip. You ever heard of that company, Green Stuff World? They're pretty famous for taking products, repackaging it, labeling it. I mean, some of it's great stuff, but it'd be really cool for them to come out with a product like a oil wash cleaning swabs, and it's just Q-tips at a premium. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Kind of tempted to get like even finer with like a brush. So I was talking about that trap of cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call that satisfied. Bam! I'm pretty proud of myself, y'all. Is it perfect? No. But I feel like I accomplished something. I feel like I've learned something. I feel like I made a pretty good mess. But yeah, so that was Oil Washing, Deathwing Knights, and a Lieutenant for Dark Angels. Probably have to wait until tomorrow to make sure it's fully in there and done. But yeah. See, keep looking, keep seeing. Gotta get in there, didn't get that arm too well. And that's kind of a neat thing about this too, is you have that time. You know, you can get in there and redo some stuff. You know, I don't want to get that edge cleaned up a little bit. Heck yeah. Ooh, I capped off my mineral spirits already. See, here I was thinking I was about done, and now I'm hopping back on it. This is the trap, I tell you. The trap. Sorry, puppy needed out. Hey, no worries, man. Yeah, mine was barking a little while ago. Now, what I was saying is, I'm liking how I can come back and keep reworking spots. I think that's a huge benefit that you don't get with like a normal wash. Kind of look at it from a new angle and see something new. Like I had missed that arm over there, but it was no big deal just to grab a Q-tip real quick and hit it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take like a photo of them. I'm going to put it on the community page. That way, hopefully you guys can believe me that they're not yellow. Grab these guys again, give them a quick look again. I vouch when the lights turn down, they look tan. Yeah, I definitely think so. The light kit I got, it's new. I got it for Christmas. And it's super helpful for painting. Like it's an arch light, so it goes like 180 degrees all the way around. There's not really much shadow with it, so I've been liking it for painting. But it definitely thinks this bone and tan color and brown is popping off yellow on the camera. So I don't know if it's like a setting on the light I got or what, but I'm not terribly mad at it. Heck yeah. I'm pretty excited about that, guys. I feel good about them. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it there for tonight. I'm going to go help my fiance cook dinner, whether she needs it or not, because, you know, I don't want to get myself in trouble. But no, I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing for hanging out with me. It really means the world to me. If you enjoyed it, leave that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I stream pretty often, trying to get better at, you know, keeping on myself for the hobby, and, you know, you guys coming along with me is a huge deal too. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.